Welcome to the family with
co-host Catherine Brandt,
Doug Sprinthal,
and Andy Ray Bernard.
So who's coming on today?
Vinnie.
Vinnie Barbarino?
Yes, that's right.
Who's that?
You know Vinnie Barbarino.
It's John Travolta and
Oh, that's
Mysticata.
Mysticata.
Oh, I never saw that.
That's yesteryear.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's yesteryear, all right.
That's
some serious
50 years
yesteryear.
old, so yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. It's all true. So what's new? Anything good?
Is Alex going to show up at 10:50 because of the traffic?
Just showing in the 11th hour. So I asked on X about Christmas movies. Did you talk about this already?
I brought it up, but we should talk more about it because it was really good.
Well, so far. What's it called again?
The Moody's.
The Moody's. Christmas with the Moody's. It's a six-part series about this family and their Christmas escapades, and I had never heard of it
I hadn't either.
until, let me see who said anything, or if
So is it British then?
no. I guess there was a series called The Moody's or something.
It's called A Moody
right?
Christmas.
A Moody
A
Christmas.
Moody Christmas, yeah.
It
And
is,
yes, the Moody's it's Australian.
Well, this isn't an
Yeah, that's the original one.
Yes, that was the original one, and this one is an American version of it. Let's see who said this.
Are you sure? Oh, yeah.
Dennis-
American
Dennis
version of
Leary.
A Moody Christmas 2013.
No, this
Well,
was...
so A Moody Christmas. So what happened is they had A Moody Christmas in Australia.
mhm.
Then they had the Moody's. Then we got A Moody Christmas of our own. Then we got our own version of the Moody's.
But it didn't last.
So it's a little confusing.
This is interesting.
The Moody's lasted 2 seasons, 14 episodes. So no, not really.
I had never even heard of it,
Well,
and
the-
it's really
The
good.
Christmas one is really good. So
Yeah,
when
it
was the American version done? Did
The
you say?
Christmas one?
Yeah.
August, it looks like, of 2013.
Oh, it seemed more contemporary than that. Interesting.
No, it's well, they announced it in August 2013, so probably late 2013 if I had to guess. And then the Moody's was 2019.
Yes.
Well, this is interesting because the person that recommended this on my X page, I was going to say who it was, and thank you very much. And this post was deleted by the post author.
Oh, well,
Huh.
So
never mind.
Covering
I
their
don't-
tracks.
Yeah, that's weird.
His last name Mangione by any chance?
Yeah, there you go.
I
So
had
why
not-
would he do that?
I don't know.
Recommend something and then just delete your name?
We may sometimes add a notice to a counter post to give more content. I don't know. Sensitive media?
Sensitive
So-
media.
Somebody posting about a Moody's Christmas would be. It says it was deleted by the post author. Well, that means the guy that wrote it, right?
Most
Yeah.
likely what
Yeah.
happened then is he got some sort of copyright thing, and they said, delete this post or we're going to...
On Twitter?
They do that on
mentioning-
YouTube. I don't know. If he linked, if he uploaded
He
a
didn't.
video of the show or
He
something,
didn't.
maybe?
No, he didn't do
He
that.
just
Well,
mentioned it.
then, I don't know.
He didn't even do an apt or a hashtag or anything
Huh.
that I remember.
They coming after me? Is that the plan here?
Well, it's on my page, so I just
there you go.
that's just very strange.
That's
Some of
very
the other
strange.
ones.
Well, if you're the
that I-
listener who recommended it, why not go to chatsy with a z.com/Tom Bernard Show and let yourself be known.
Tell us all about
Yeah,
it.
there's a couple other ones I have never heard of. 8-Bit Christmas. Has anybody heard of that?
Oh, we watched that. It's
did?
a story about the NES coming out and all the kids clamoring for one, and they're all sold out everywhere, and
Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
So I kind of got it. I mean, the NES was my first console, but I was real young. You got that,
Yes.
I think. I couldn't have been more than 2 years old when you got that thing, right?
I don't know.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
Yes, but I don't remember when you got it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get it. You guys had it. I grew into it.
Oh,
You played Dr. Mario a lot.
Dr.
did.
You did, yes.
I did. Well, you'd go to bed at 8 o'clock, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd put the kids to bed at about 9 o'clock, and then I had to be completely quiet.
Yep.
So it was a
That
good thing
sucks.
to do. I couldn't do anything.
I remember
else.
sitting there and watching her play Dr. Mario, and then she'd stop, and then I'd try and be like, I can't, this is impossible. How is she doing this?
I know those
Because I was
little-
4 years old, I think.
Yeah, you had to match pills.
Yep.
Can you imagine that? For 37 years, I went to bed at 8 o'clock and got up at 3:30 in the morning. Well, not we're in Florida. That's different.
Okay,
That is
so,
different.
and then the ice harvest.
Jesus.
Anybody heard that?
I think there's an ice harvest going on in the other room right now.
Oh.
And who was in there? I saw somebody walking around.
It's Alex.
Oh.
Oh, Alex has got there.
Family Stone, the ref.
I
Christmas.
love
Dennis, what's his name?
My favorite.
That's your favorite?
Favorite
Is it-
Christmas movie.
Really?
What's his name? Dennis what?
Dennis Leary.
Dennis Leary. There you go. Yeah, he's really good in this one, too, the Moody's.
So, Alex, how about that traffic?
There was traffic.
There sure was. It took
Why
me an
is there
hour to get here.
traffic?
What on earth?
Because there's a
it's-
snowflake on the
it's
ground.
snowing.
Oh, yes.
It's insane.
I hardly ever have traffic here unless it's
Me
like
either.
ice and whatever. But today I was like, even just exiting from 100
Yep.
to get to, I was just like, what is going on? Why are there so many people here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Doug.
It
What
took
did you
me-
do?
It took me an hour to get here. Normally it's half an hour, 35 minutes.
Yeah, I was like,
I got here
what?
early. I don't know. It's fine.
It's Red
That's
Wing.
true. It hasn't been
I don't
snowing
need
yet,
to worry
really.
about it. Oh,
I think it's interesting because, I mean, we've been in the same studio now for how many years? A lot.
This
During COVID, we
studio,
were
like,
there
4.
Yeah.
at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we were there during COVID, and there was nobody in the building.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Creepy.
that. That was kind of nice.
And then last year, I think some companies must have insisted that people come into
Yep.
the office
Right.
at least a few
Yep.
times a week because
Yep.
every once in a while there's just like zero parking.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
most
but then
of the
other
time-
days it's like you could literally be the only person in the building.
Yeah, so it's probably one of those you have to come in 3 days a week.
Yep,
kind of
exactly.
rules or something.
Yep. My brother-in-law they just told him, his whole company, that they can't work from home at all anymore.
Yeah. A lot of people are doing
Well,
that.
it kind of makes sense because people, these companies are renting or own, office space. If nobody's there,
Yeah, it's a waste
But
of
I mean,
space.
Dan works from his office 3 days a week.
yeah.
I feel like that's a good amount because you don't have to be in the office. Dan's like, a lot of the time I'm in the office and I'm just in meetings on my computer.
Yep. They just have
Oh.
you go there so they can justify paying for the building.
Yeah,
so it's
so
like,
he's
how about
like,
just
I'm
stop
not-
using the building?
And he's like, it's not like it's lifting group morale
Right.
because I'm not with anybody. I'm still just sitting on my computer.
Yeah, so it's
Why
like
don't
it's like they have a problem. The problem is we have this building we're paying for and no one's using it.
Yeah.
So the solution they come up with is force people to use it when it should be get rid of the building.
Yeah. Well, like,
If you don't need the building for anything technically, then just get rid of it.
Yeah,
Or
Target
all
downsize.
all the commercial real estate agents and all and builders are all shut up, Andy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's
Don't
the
talk
thing.
like
Is
that.
it's a massive industry, and a lot of people are losing money on this remote work thing.
Well,
But it's
it's
like
in-
it's how things are going. You can't fight it forever.
Well, it's interesting because down here in West Palm Beach, they are building 27-story office buildings left and right.
Left and right.
everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, it's like New York. It's literally Manhattan here now.
You cannot
Yeah,
believe
West
how
Palm Beach is nothing but condos and office buildings. It's crazy.
and
Yep.
hotels and now hotels.
No, well, of course, hotels.
Yeah, but I
Spring
mean,
break.
yeah, they're building just tons of them, and I'm like, are that many people working at the office?
Well, West Palm Beach is an older town, so probably.
I would think that. Well, I know that they have attracted a lot of businesses from other places.
Yeah.
So, but I thought everybody was doing more remote work these days, but I don't know.
Well, you got to. If you own these buildings, you have to use the buildings. I mean, what are the companies supposed to do? Sit there with an empty building, paying? I was going to say through the butt, but I didn't.
Well, there are a lot of buildings like I think it's United Health in Hopkins, right there off of Bren.
Yeah.
They're not using something like 3/4 of the building, and they're
I
starting
know.
to talk about perhaps turning those buildings into condos. Downtown Minneapolis has a lot of empty office space, and nobody wants it, and nobody wants to be downtown with the business anymore anyway.
I will tell you something. I wouldn't tell anybody I was working for United Health. Jesus. Honest to God, like these people getting mowed down. And do you see all the people celebrating his death? I couldn't believe that. They're celebrating the death of a guy who was executed.
Yeah,
I don't
well, there's just a lot of edgy people out there who, and it's mostly young people, I think, who don't really
It is.
understand that, like, It's like people who celebrate the French Revolution. It's like, okay, we're going to get rid of all the rich people and no more kings. Everyone's equal. So at that point, all the billionaires are dead. They killed them all. Do you think the mob is just going to disperse, or are they going to look for the next rung down?
Absolutely.
They got bloodlust, and that's exactly what they did. Is they basically just killed their way down the line until they got basically scattered.
That's true. How come you're not putting Alex's picture up?
Oh, yeah.
Way to go, Andy. Just keep your sister out of the mix.
Highly offended.
There she is.
There she is, and there's Vinnie.
And there, Vinnie, how you doing?
Oh, he's got his.
Oh, we can't hear him.
There.
Can you hear me now?
There
Now
you
we can,
are.
I
absolutely.
had to unmute you.
Tom, you were saying something a second ago that, the people celebrating this guy who shot
Unbelievable.
another human being in the back. It's just, and they're going, well, he probably had a reason. A lot of people have a lot of reason.
Yeah.
You don't go shooting people in the back. And now I'm not so appalled about the guy shooting people in the back. I'm appalled at the age group that's going, yeah, he probably deserved it. This guy deserved it.
Unbelievable.
And by the way, I don't mean to get political because I'm not political, but you got to call them when you see them. How is it in 5 minutes we know everything about this Luigi Mangione, yet I still don't really know the name of the kid who shot at Trump during the rally?
That's what I said yesterday.
Yeah, that's literally what you said yesterday.
Yep,
That's
I
interesting.
said that yesterday, and everybody was like, because the media doesn't want to report on it for
Yep,
whatever
pretty much.
reason. Why?
It's crazy.
I know. You know
Man,
everything
shot-
about this kid.
Think about it, Catherine. Shot at a former president of the United
You'd
States.
think you'd know everything about him.
We know nothing. Does anyone, right now, blurt out that guy's name?
No idea.
Thank you very much. I just proved there's 6 people on this thing, and none of us know that guy's name.
I think it's because it's anti-Italianism.
Well, yeah, to be fair, Luigi is a very distinctive name and makes me think of Mario, so I'm going to remember it.
True.
I don't know. It's a crazy world we live in. I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Well, this kid, I saw his ranting. The kid is mentally ill. There's no question about that. This is not just anger. He's way over the top. So,
Well,
you would think.
it sounds like a lot of people are speculating that he had a bad back surgery, was in a lot of pain, and apparently there's this hallucinogenic that people take for pain.
Yeah, that's like a thing is microdosing something. I don't remember exactly.
And they're thinking
what.
that he took that and went,
Bonkers.
What's the thing is you're supposed to microdose it. You're not supposed to macrodose it.
well, do you get this off the internet, or is that a doctor?
No,
prescribed
it's
thing?
I forget exactly what drug it is, but it's not legal.
I think it's psilocybin. isn't
Yes,
it?
I think it's
I think
psilocybin.
it
It's
is.
basically magic mushrooms.
Yeah, and you
I was gonna
can grow
say,
it yourself quite easily, but the problem is when you grow it yourself, you don't know the concentration of these mushrooms. So people are like, "Oh, I'll just take a bite. I don't feel anything." 10 minutes later, so they just eat like 6 of them, and then
Oh,
problem.
God. That's a good idea.
Catherine, can I shoot, no pun intended, holes in your theory of
Oh,
that?
It's not my theory. It's a theory.
A theory of that theory.
Okay.
The guy didn't just have a knee-jerk reaction. He was able to 3D print a gun.
But yeah, there was a lot of prep involved in what he did.
Yeah.
A lot of
You know,
prep.
he had a bag where when you put your phone in the bag, no one can tell where that phone is. This guy was well thought out.
Which is odd. Vinny, you probably know this, but they're going to charge him with second-degree murder. It's clearly premeditated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my theory is that he wanted that. I don't know why, but a lot of people want to go to prison. I mean, maybe
They
not
do?
a lot in like the grand scheme of things, but there's more than you think that, I mean, like, there's homeless people. That's like the thing is they'll like pretend to rob a store. Like they will rob it, but they don't really want to rob it. What they want is to go to prison because now they have food and shelter.
Yeah.
And this guy might be in a similar situation.
Now, this guy comes from one of the richest
Huge
families.
money.
Oh,
Big money, not fake money.
right.
not Monopoly money?
Old WAP money. Yeah.
Only a guy named Vinnie could say that.
Yeah,
you
they're
can
my
say it.
people. I can say it. You guys can say it. I can say it.
Heir to the Chef Boyardee fortune.
It's pronounced Boyardee, actually.
Sorry.
Yeah, Boyardee is actually the name. You're right.
You know, Vinny, I got to say, the saturation on your video makes me feel like I'm in The Giver.
What does that mean? Is that a good thing or bad
Look
thing?
how bright he is compared
He's
to the rest
very-
of us.
Yeah, he is very
look
bright.
at
It's
you.
good.
It looks like it's a
Lot of color
professional
there.
studio.
Yes.
By the way, I want to take a consensus here. Right now, I have the nice hat on, but I also have this hat. It's Christmas hats. You know, which way should I go today?
I'd go with the red because it offsets the green shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm kind of liking the red with the green.
Yeah, I have the naughty hat and the nice hat.
There you go.
He's ready for anything.
He's already
Yeah.
got. I notice your documentary over your shoulder there.
Yeah, Fat, a documentary.
You know, we did watch that. I don't think we talked to you since we found out about your documentary. Your
We did.
documentary made me mad at the food industry for quite some time.
Listen,
very, very
Catherine,
angry.
I don't need you going out shooting someone.
I'm not going to
from
do that. I'm
the
not going to do
Unilever in
that.
the back. You know,
I will not do that.
I don't need you looking for Walter Willard and shooting him in the back any day soon.
But oh my God, why isn't this like? How long ago did you do that documentary?
We did it. We put it out in 2018 or 19. I can't remember. And believe it or not, last month it was still in the top 100 on Apple.
Amazing.
I'll give you more. I'm going to brag about this movie for a second.
Please do. 'Cause everyone should watch it. Everyone should watch this.
Thank you. I never wanted to do it. There was no reason in the world for me to think that I can make a documentary. And when Peter Pardini came to me, he was coming fresh off of doing the documentary on the band Chicago. It's called Chicago Now More Than Ever. And it was a big deal. And he had followed my, weight loss programs and whatever. And he was like, man, I want to do this documentary. I was like, Peter, I'm not about to put my own money into a documentary. That's just, financial suicide. And he goes, well, you can crowdfund it. And the only reason I crowdfunded that documentary was because I was absolutely sure nobody would give me a dime. So we were asking for, I think, $110,000, which was not enough to do a documentary. We did not get 110. We got $250,000.
Really?
Yeah. So now I was like, shit.
No, I gotta do
this.
And so actually, when I got to the end, I had to put a lot of my own money in just to finish it. And I just told my wife, look, this is going to be a vanity piece. We'll never see this money again. But I got to finish it because these people put their hard-earned money into it. It came out. It didn't just go, it was put out by Gravitas Ventures. It became the #1 movie that Gravitas Ventures, which is a big, distribution company, the biggest movie that they ever distributed, not just documentaries, all movies. It came out the same year as Free Solo, the nut job that was climbing without a rope.
Mm-hmm.
We toppled Free Solo for the top position across all media. Rightly so, he still got the Academy Award for Best Documentary of the Year, even though we toppled him. And then the Aretha Franklin documentary came out right after she died. She toppled us for like 1 week, and we went back on top. That documentary is still going. It's on 70 VODs around the world. I was on Malaysian Airlines a couple of years ago, and I saw the documentary, and I told the young lady next to me, I went, hey, that's me. That's me. And she was like, okay, old man, we're good over here.
There it is.
Sure it is.
I'm proud of it. We ended up doing Fata Documentary 2, and then we did Beyond Impossible. I went after the fake meat industry, which I was correct about because it's failing left, right, and center. You can look that up. Beyond Burger and Impossible Meat cannot sustain. And then we just did the new documentary that just came out. So we have 4 of them out there.
Why? I think that everybody in the political arena should have to sit down and watch this and then have some sort of a, like come to Jesus meeting about it.
Catherine, if you remember in the documentary, the McGovern Committee met for 10 years. Now, let me put that into perspective. The January 6th committee, same sort of committee, met for 3 weeks, and that was considered a long time.
God.
10 years.
Yeah.
And the reason they started meeting was because RFK, not Junior, the one that was shot in a restaurant, he was trying to figure out, because the way Democrats win elections is, hey, we need to figure out how to give black people free stuff. I'm not criticizing it. I think it's a brilliant plan.
Sure.
So they went, hey, there's a lot of poor black people that can't eat in the Deep South. Let's come up with a food voucher. It became food stamps.
Right.
Now we call it something else.
SNAP, I think.
SNAP.
Or EBT. I don't know the difference, to be honest.
Right. So they said, hey, let's come up with this, but we have to do a study. So McGovern did a study, and that study just kept going on and on and on, because they got food stamps right away, but then Ansel Keys comes in, and they just keep this thing going and going and going for 10 years. And at the end of it, America started getting fat, because we came up with the food pyramid, and we came up with cut down on saturated fats and eat more grains. And look at us today.
And there's just, your documentary was just so well thought out and wasn't just based on junk science, which is what I liked about it the most, is because it just was, you listen to the facts and then you say, nah, we don't want to listen to those facts. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Look, we pulled the studies out and said, here are the studies they used to show that saturated fat was bad for you. The same study shows that those fats are good for you. But they ignored, that's what you call ignorance, when you ignore facts. Mm-hmm. And that's what they did. They ignored facts.
I remember way back when I was very small, my mother switching over from butter, delicious, wonderful butter, to some crap called oleo something.
Oleomargarine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was awful tasting.
It's just soybean oil, basically.
It was terribly, but she was so worried about cholesterol.
Yep, that's what we were taught is,
And the woman
butter's
had
bad for you.
high cholesterol her whole life. She lived to be 94.
Yeah.
Catherine, did your mom jump on the pressure cooker bandwagon in the 60s too?
Oh, honey, we had the pressure cooker. We had the
Worst
electric
tasting
fry
food
pan. We had it all.
Everything's just mush.
Let's take vegetables and beat them and torture them until they're almost tasteless.
Oh, we have a pressure cooker, but you don't use vegetables in them. They just turn into used
Everything
Kleenex.
just- yeah.
Yeah, no
I
I
thanks.
seem to remember that they
Meat
used
is
it for
great.
meat. Yeah.
Yes. Meat is
Yeah.
great in a pressure cooker. Nothing else is good.
I was always worried those damn things were going to explode. Remember,
Oh,
they
yeah.
had the
Yeah.
little thing on top. That,
Yep.
and occasionally they would blow up.
I'd run through the kitchen, just
I used to
run.
make a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you sure
I
can.
saw a video the other day of a corgi. It was like an instant pot, and it was letting out the steam, because you have to like let the steam out
Yeah.
before you open it. And this corgi was just running around the island, barking at it, like,
It's gonna blow.
it was so funny.
Yeah, they had this big aluminum pot with this big gasket and this disc thing that you put on top to, I don't know.
That's
really,
what an instant pot is now.
It was
Instant
very
pot is just like
terrifying.
new age
It's a
pressure
modern
cooker.
pressure cooker
Yeah.
with better recipes.
Yes, that's what we have. We have an
Probably
instant pot.
safer too, I'm guessing, maybe.
Well, yeah, the like tick 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 thing is because the way it used to regulate the pressure was, it was a valve that opened up at a certain pressure.
Right.
So
Yeah.
if the pressure would get high enough, it would release some steam, then it would go low,
Yeah.
then it would build, it would release some steam over and over.
Yeah.
Now it has like temperature sensors to stop that from needing to happen.
So why did we start talking about pressure cookers?
Because we're
I brought
talking
it up
about
because you and I are about the same age, and my mom
Okay.
jumped on the oleo bandwagon as well.
Oh, and
Well,
it was
we're
nasty
gonna
stuff.
we're going to talk about cholesterol for a second, and then I need to get back to pressure. because I love talking about steam and pressure. I'm not kidding. Cholesterol, I've never understood from a scientific standpoint why we're trying to lower something that every single cell in your body needs to perform properly and to propagate. Yet we have medicine telling us to lower that thing.
Yep.
Right. There are people on this earth walking around with total cholesterol levels of over 600. They will not die of any kind of heart disease. Cholesterol does not equal heart disease. It's been proven over and over and over again. But hey, don't let the truth get in the way of a good lie, because the good lie is selling a lot of statins.
Lipitor.
If you guys,
sell so many.
Lipitor.
Alex and Andy won't remember this, but the rest of us will. When they first started educating us back in the 80s about cholesterol, before that, really, they weren't talking about it. They were saying, look, as long as you have a total cholesterol below like 250 or 260, you're fine. And then they figured out, wait, we can sell more statins if we lower that to 220, right? Because basically what statins do is they artificially lower cholesterol. So they educated us more. And then they figured out that their statins actually lowered LDLs more than HDLs. So then they created, hey, guess what? LDLs, that's bad cholesterol, which is a lie. Because LDLs are not bad cholesterol. So they went, hey, we need to lower these bad cholesterols and we need to get you under 200. They just keep lowering the number, right? And the fact of the matter is your body needs HDL, high density lipids, LDL, low density lipids. It needs it all to live. Now, the partial truth in the bad cholesterol is under LDL, and I'm not going to get too scientific here. Under LDL, you can have what's called a small dense particle. And